I've realized I do this thing whereby when I take time and plan out what I want to record, like on the podcast or be it in an article, I do my research. So there's a lot of planning that goes behind it. But anytime I do that, Manzesa execution, I freeze. Mi ushindwa. Because just now, actually what happened is I was shitting. And then while I was in the toilet, I just thought, why not just record a really quick podcast? And then I can edit it whatever time I can, when I find the time. And that's still content. That's even more authentic because it's, something I felt. So I just put it out without putting much thought into it. I realized anytime I plan, I just can't get that shit out. Kama saizi niko na articles already. It's on the like 11. Today's 11th, I think. I have about 6 articles that I've just been writing and they're stored in my drafts because I write and then I say I'll edit badai. So now I have all these articles in my draft that I needed to have put out from the 31st first hizo siku zote. Zingine zinasema what I was feeling in that moment, and I've already evolved from that feeling. Like nisha grow, nisha change, I already know better. I feel something different. So when I try to edit it, it's just, do I really feel this? Is this how I really, really feel? Am I ready to put this out? Talking about, I miss this nigga's dick. And I missed him 2 weeks ago. I don't miss him now. Are you guys getting my dilemmas? So I don't know how I'm going to go about that, but place nimefika saizi is just, I think I'm the happiest when I can wing things, when straight off my head. It's, planning is good and research is good. I think I'll put more of that into where I'm talking about topics that actually need it, but I think neza jipea break manze. Sazile na feel too, siniende ni record your shit say. I think I'll try to do more of those because I feel way better like that. But habari zenu. So what I want to talk about is today I was on Tuesdays, every Tuesday morning. Today's on a Tuesday. Every Tuesday morning I'm live with a really great panel. I think I've talked about this on here on Citizen TV on the Daybreak show, where it's a social analytical show where we just talk about social stuff, things that are happening within relationships and friendships. I really, really enjoy the show because other than getting to hear what my colleagues know and what they've learned over their experiences, because 2 of them are life coaches, and like unajua hao sawa na coming in facts, alafu mina shata tuna coming in experience. So it's a really, really great mix. And it's such a great panel. You guys should catch the show every Tuesday at 8 a.m. in the morning. It's such a great opportunity for me to learn. And today I realized that I wanted to talk about something that I mentioned on the show. It's something I've known, but it's something I've been reading more about. And it's just caught my attention because ni importante. If you follow me on social media and if you're a frequent person up on this podcast, you know that how I structure my shows is I do the intro where I just catch you guys up on what I've been doing, what's been new in my life, what's happening, how I'm feeling. My AOB nyingi before we get to the topic of discussion. But today I'm not gonna update you on how I've been on what I've been doing because this is such an impromptu podcast and I hadn't really prepared to record it now. It's just that I have a bit of time before I have to go make dinner, and then after dinner nikishavuta ngwai zangu nasikia usingizi, alafu nikishakuwa hai nalala, asubuhi ishafika naenda kupiga janta, and then the day goes on and goes on. By the way, ever since I got on this 8 to 5 thing, I'm consistently tired. I'm very, very tired. Mentally, I'm very tired. Emotionally, physically, yani nakwanga tu nimebeat. So I try my best to try and make time. But I'm thinking I have to think about everything and plan everything and just restructure my stuff so that I'm giving more time to love and orgasms because this is genuinely what makes me happy. Nimekuwa drained, by the way. So I'm not gonna update you guys on what I've been up to or what I've been doing. I beg that you allow me to do that in the next podcast, because the next podcast is a bit more structured, a bit more, well prepared for. It's just time ya kurecord that sijapata. I just wanted us to talk real quick about attachment styles, because today on TV I touched a bit about it, and there was so many DMs on my Instagram and on my Twitter and Facebook. The Facebook nimeziangalia leo, just about, can you talk more about that? Can you maybe delve more into that? Can you just have a longer explanation? And you see, on TV time I couldn't really explain kila kitu ndo watu waelewe, but I'm going to try my best to explain as well as possible. And if you guys have questions, you can always feel free to reach me so we can talk about it. Or if you know more, please reach me and enrich me. Ish, niko tu rapa. Please reach out and, share the information, because the more we know, because pia mimi, by the way, si ati najuanga kila kitu. Hata mimi na learning on the job. I just learn on the way as we're going. I was talking about attachment styles, and I just want to cover a bit of the basics so that I can answer a few of the questions that some people had for me in my DMs. If you remember, in the beginning of the year, I told you guys I was in a relationship. I'm not laughing because of that guy. I'm laughing because because it's funny. It's funny. Those words coming out of my mouth that, hi, I'm in a relationship, is funny to me, because it's not something I have ever done seriously in my life. I was dating this guy, and by the way, the relationship was really, really good. I was very happy. I used to squat all the time. It was really, really good. But no, everything else was amazing. Communication, love, honesty, all those things were definitely a 10 out of 10. And I have so much love for him, and I care so much about him. But tuliachana for other reasons. One of the reasons I can remember fondly that we broke up over was having different attachment styles. Or rather, I felt like that was a deal breaker for me. Because si ati najajwa say I'm gonna feel like I'm better than anyone. It's just that when you've been on this healing and spiritual journey, you will understand how much work it takes. It's a lot of work. You don't just wake up today and say you're gonna unlearn and condition yourself to know other things. It's not something that you can go to school for a semester. It's not something. It's consistent work. It's the work you do every fucking day of your life. Every fucking day. I needed this guy to be very intentional about his healing and his growth and everything. But you see, if someone doesn't even know that they need to be healing, there's no healing that's going on. Nami niko very aware, niko very conscious of the spiritual work I'm doing on myself. Niko very conscious on my cognitive development. Like niko very aware. I know my bad habits, I know my bad traits, I know what I need to work on. Nazile sijui, niko willing kuskiza, to learn and improve. Niko willing to take advice, Niko willing, and this guy wasn't doing much of that. And then we took this, it was some type of personality test, I think an attachment test. I don't know how accurate these things are, but he ended up having a very insecure attachment style, and I was very secure. And it's true according to the tests, because what came out was, Mimi, in a relationship, I'm very confident, I'm very content, I'm very relaxed. Like, mimi najua maisha matamu, nimezoea vitu nzuri. Wacha niongee Kiswahili. Leo, one of my colleagues on the show said, Shatta Boy said, ati, kizungu ni mob. Like, mimi na CJ tumeongea kizungu mob. And I really, really tried to go 2 minutes of straight Kiswahili na nilishindwa na nashangaaje, cause mimi ni mdemo wa Islando, manze nime grow up Islando, Sheng najua Sheng crazy, nimesoma Kiswahili. It was one of my favorite subjects in school all through. Napenda Kiswahili. I love everything about being Kenyan and hizi vitu zote, lakini sijui mbona nashindwa kuongea 2 full sentences in Kiswahili. I don't know if it's mazoea, environment, or just how I've been speaking of late. I don't know what's been happening, but it's something I definitely need to work on, because I played it off like it's funny, but I felt so disappointed in myself. I felt like, what who have I become? It's so shameful to me, because I take a lot of pride and heritage in my origin and where I'm from. So that really ilifanya ni feel some type of way. So I'm gonna try and improve on that. Now, every word you notice that you feel like, hey, oh damn, nipe hongera, it'll make me feel good about, because today I felt very, very disappointed in myself. Anyway, so how I am in a relationship is that I'm very secure, and this came out in the test that we did, because I don't have to keep checking up on him. I don't have to call him all the time. I don't have to communicate every second. I don't have to be worried about where he's at, what he's doing. Like, I'm very, very secure, and I communicate my feelings. I say what I'm feeling. I say what I want. But he was the type of person who, when he wants to avoid a fight with me, he'd rather just keep quiet about it. Or when, he's feeling some type of way, he doesn't want to upset me. And that made me feel so, and he was always so worried about me talking to other niggas. He was always so worried about me cheating on him. He was always so scared I'll leave him. He was always so, and he didn't realize that these fears, fears in Kiswahili ni maogopezi ini joke. Hizi vitu alikuwa anaogopa the whole time. I wasn't even feeling them, or I wasn't doing them. They were all in his head. But they ultimately pushed me to want to break up with him, because I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. I loved him dearly, and I really, really cared for him, and I wanted to be with him and make things work. By the way, nilikuwa happy na nilikuwa nasikia poa, but nilianza tu kufeel relationship ni kazi mingi, because even in the work that I do, I can't be online all the time. I can't be on standby all the time. I'm not someone who's always on their phone texting all day. I just couldn't do it. I tried, and I really, really cared for him, and the more I fed into trying to take away his anxiety, the more it made him, like, iliongeza, ni kama ilikuwa inapunguza threshold yake ya kuweza withstand nini. So if I decide I'm gonna communicate better just to make him comfortable, it's okay. I'll adjust. I'll text you all the time. I'll do. Anytime I made such changes, anytime I made a mistake and just forgot to text back, or withdrew, or didn't pick a call, it would become a fight. It would become a whole huge issue. Now, tena nika tumerudi square one, tunaanza kudeal tena na hizi vitu zote, and it was becoming really, really heavy on me, considering I work and I have an 8 to 5 job. I'm always at work. My commute, that time I lived back at home, so my commute was really, really tough. I spend like 3 to 4 hours on the road every day, plus my 9 hours at the office. Plus, you see, by the time nifika home, manze sitaki kusikia sauti ya mtu. Sitaki mtu aniongeleshe, sitaki mtu anipigie simu. Juu kuna makanga alinitukana ama aliniongelesha vibaya. Kuna mtu alikanyaga viatu zangu za white. Kama unajua naongea juu ya viatu gani, kuna viatu za white zangu miuva. If you see me, if you know, you know. Kuna viatu zangu za white miuva daily. Says mechapa, man, ndabidi nibaye zingine. But I was consistently frustrated and very, very exhausted every day. And I just felt like at that time I needed a boyfriend who's much more understanding, much more secure, a boyfriend who was willing to just be confident. All I needed was his confidence, and then that would help me feel more secure in the relationship. But that's not what happened. So your relationship ilibidi imekalas. And it's not ati cheating. Akuko na hizo story, by the way. Na I did not cheat on him. I did not lie to him. I was very, very straightforward. But now the moment I started feeling like he's being nagging. He's on my neck all the time. He sees that, or even when my phone will be over there and he'll be like If someone calls me, he looks away. I can tell he's already scared. It's like me trauma response here. He can't even check my phone. He has to protect himself so that he doesn't see another man calling me. Na mimi sikuwa na hizo story. So ilikuwa inanishangaza. Why would you think I'm talking to someone else and I'm here in your bed? You just made me squirt like 6 fucking times in the last 1 hour. Why do you think I cheat on you? But minus the sex, I genuinely do love this boy. The relationship goes way back. It's someone I dated before and then we reconnected, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you guys that story later. But this example is just to show you the differences. Like, I had to let this guy go just because of our different attachment styles. So now let me get into these attachment styles that I'm talking about. So an attachment style is a way in which you have a relationship with something or someone. It's the way in which you act in relation to this person or thing. So there's 4 types of attachment styles. Ya kwanza ni secure. Sina words exactly zenye ziko kwa internet. If you need to read more about it or to ask more about it, or I'm just gonna paraphrase and explain it exactly how I understand for myself, and then we could, like, the floor is open for dialogue. We can get to understand everything better. So the first one is secure. Secure is whereby, like, uko tu secure, like hiyo ishaji explain. Uko secure, una feel poa, uko fiti, una communicate feelings zako, una communicate wants zako na needs zako na demands zako. Unaweza sema what you need, unaweza like uko tu sawa, una get a healthy relationship. Like, you guys talk, you're confident, you're good, you can. Hakuna hizi ma issues za sijui mkifight amwezi solve kitu. Like, you guys can just talk to each other and hear each other out and spread the love. The second one is, let me start with anxious. So in an anxious attachment style, it is whereby when you were growing up as a kid, you tended to distrust your caregivers because there was so much insecurity, like, in the environment that you're within. This thing is normally learned into adulthood, and you grow up into an adult who feels very unloved, and you cannot even express this feeling because you feel so much anxiety. You're very anxious to even say umenikosea hivi ama na feel hivi ama tunaweza ongea about hii, kwa sababu you fear rejection. Anytime you brought up your feelings or what you wanted or how you felt, it always ended up with you being rejected. So you grow up into an adult who's afraid to express themselves because you feel like once you speak your mind or you say what you're feeling and what you want, the person that you love will not be willing to listen or hear you out, and they'll just reject you. They'll reject everything you have to say, and they'll just washilia you there. So to keep the peace, inabidi umekanyagia. Inabidi umenyamaza ndio history iishe tu. So the difference between this and secure attachment style is that in secure, you're a bit more relaxed. There's not any insecurities. You trust, and there's a caring and loving situation going on. But when you're anxious, it's very untrustworthy. There's not much that you expect from your caregiver or from your lover or from whoever you are, and this makes you become an adult who's very emotionally dependent on other people because you're waiting for them to make decisions and say what they feel, and then you can go with that. You're very, very scared of being straightforward about your own feelings and your own wants and your own needs. But you see, what this does is that, okay, I'll talk about what it does later in relation to this relationship of mine that I was telling you about. The third attachment style is an avoidant attachment style. So what happens in avoidant is, growing up, I'm talking about when you were a kid because all these things are formative and very cognitive, especially in the child years. When you're very young, this is when you're learning things, you're learning patterns, you're learning how to act, you're learning how to respond, you're learning how to love, and etc. So in avoidant attachment style, this is where you grow up into an adult who does not like to confront anything. Anytime you're having an issue, unapenda tu kulenga, unapenda kubrush over it juu unadhani ita get solved, ni sawa, nimezoea, itakuwa ni sawa. So una try to keep the peace by avoiding the whole situation. And what this does is that, other than hurting your own feelings, is that your needs are never going to be met. No one is ever going to know what you're feeling, what you need, what you want to improve what you know, the situation you're in. So then you become this adult whose needs are always unmet, who's always angry and annoyed and feels unloved. And it just comes out naturally, and you can't even control it because even umezoea. And that's because when you were a kid, anytime you said something or you tried to air your feelings or you tried to say nataka hiyo, ulikuwa unanyamazishwa, unazimwa, inaisha hapo, hiyo story inaisha. So you become an adult who finds it very, very hard to understand your emotions, and therefore you try to avoid intimate relationships because you already know my needs will not be met. Like, usha judge your situation. Mimi hakuna mtu unisikiza, vitu zangu hazifanywangwi, so hakuna haja niongee. But you see, when you're in such a situation, it's like, how will the next person know how you're feeling if you do not communicate, bruh? Like, if you don't tell me, wagwan, this is how I feel, this is what is going on, ulinikosea, can we talk about this? I'm never gonna understand, and how I react to how you're acting is going to make you feel even more unloved. Because let me give you guys an example. There's this guy I was fucking. Sorry, I'm just giving examples of guys I've fucked, but ndo maana tuko hapa Love and Orgasm. So there's this guy I was fucking with about a month, 2 months ago. That situation ended, but how it ended was that, okay, mi nafeel alinikosea, and I addressed it because, yeah, I'm very big on communication. I addressed it. I told him I know what was up and what he was doing, and yeah, he tried to act like he was remorseful, you know, saying sorry, I'll do better, I'll learn. But in situations like that, I always know that if, you know, that it's in the immediate, there's no remorse. Hapo tu ni uko sorry, umeshikwa. Juu kasinge kuconfront sahi, haungeni call uniambie sorry. Unaget, ni juu tu nimemshika. That's why he was saying sorry. And I was very, very annoyed because, like, fuck words, fuck you telling me sorry just because I caught you. Tukaongea, but mimi nikamshow tu, manze umenibeba ufala na umenibeba wana, umeniwestia time, sijui ulikuwa unadhani nini. I really spoke my mind. But when I relaxed, and now I was not speaking out of emotion and rather out of, you know, okay, sasa mini the calm Roberta, whereby I'm able to weigh and try to understand his side, then maybe we can have a better conversation. But this person is someone I get to see like every other day, often, so we bump into each other a lot. But I was noticing they're avoiding me, you know, small things like he stopped watching my Instagram stories, he stopped replying my DMs. He was always the first person to tell me I'm hot, but you know, vitu ka hizo na ni normal mkikosana na mse, like ni normal communication you go down. But this was looking a bit weird to me because I thought place relationship yetu imefika ni place tu tuko able kuongeleshana, like that issue didn't have to trickle down into everything else. And I'm not mentioning ati Instagram because it's a big deal or something. I'm just trying to explain to you guys, you know, the process of an avoidant person. You know, the communication ikapunguka, tukacha kuongea as often, which is okay with me because this person told me that they needed space. They needed time to just think and reevaluate because apparently they were feeling hurt because they hurt me. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to try and dismiss their feelings because I don't know. But you see, their words were not matching their actions. That's why I giggled. And then, you know, communication ikapungua. Ultimately, ikaenda weeks to a month. We've not talked. You know, the whole time, me as a friend, by the way, I was thinking, like, fuck atakudinyana. I was thinking, see, we are friends. Kwani you don't miss me? You don't miss me. It's like the second week, really. We used to talk all the time, all fucking day. You know, you'd call me randomly. We were just friends. So this small thing is making you avoid me. That was very weird to me. Because how I am, nimezoea communication. Nimezoea, see, we talk and fix and find a solution. Because I already miss you 1 hour away from talking to you. So why do you want us to go another whole week? Like, can't we just sort this so that we see how to improve ourselves and get better? Nice equate to words, like equate action and us being proactive in solving the situation. So I was very, very confused. What made me, at first I was just like, you know, fuck this nigga, fuck niggas, fuck every nigga. Because that's what niggas do. They fuck you and then they want to ghost and blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, bruh, I'm not gonna buy it. Because beyond the sex, okay, yeah, maybe he was using me for pussy. But as in beyond that, I felt like I genuinely enjoyed the conversations that we used to have. So I was thinking, kwani he doesn't enjoy? Kwani he doesn't miss me? Ama he's not thinking, oh, what's Roberta doing? Can I text her and tell her I miss her? He wasn't thinking all those things. Ama mimi nilikuwa na over-exaggerate position yangu in his life, you know, and this pushed me to do a lot more reading and just research on how people deal with things differently. And then this is how I stumbled upon these attachment styles. So I noticed this guy has an avoidant attachment style whereby communication was cut down, and then now he would avoid me, like hatupitani, hatuongee, hatupatani, and this was very deliberate, like I would notice. So even for me, you know, what happens with me is that once I've communicated and I've said how I feel and I've said what I want, I don't push it any further. I move on. So at Amini, it's been about I can say 2 months. You know, we still see each other every day and we talk here and there, but it's very, very awkward. It's very, very awkward. I feel like I have to fake smile and fake interest and all that. That's why it's so weird to me, because I'd rather just, yo, can we talk about this? Can we fix this? Because I miss you. And I miss clapping those cheeks. And I miss sticking my tongue up your ass. See, to have to your conversation, manze. Anyway, really quite example, yeah, avoidant attachment style. So I can tell he's avoiding me, which is okay, because people deal with things differently. But you see, my thought process is, what's all this extra shit for? Like, really, all it took was for you to just pick up the phone and call me, and we can talk about it. Even if you're scared of meeting in person, or you're scared that whatever you're scared about, communicate, and I'll find a way to compromise so that we can save this relationship we have going on, this friendship we have going on. Unless you don't give a fuck about the relationship, then that's still cool. But you know, it would have been nice to see him put in the effort. But then, okay, back to attachment styles. So you can notice umse akona avoidant attachment style. Na best way is for them to unlearn. Like, there's nothing I can do past mini the communication I've done. So it made me really question myself, because I started thinking I'm the problem. I started asking myself, I shouldn't have confronted him. I shouldn't have, you know, communicated my feelings. And I hate that someone else almost made me think that something was wrong with me for communicating my emotions. Because I'm such a person who's always ready to talk about things and fix them and just know what next and do better. So that's what I was hoping for. But anyway, your relationship ilisha hivyo. Ilisha kama nimemwambia venye na feel, ajawai address, ajai ongea juu story, anatakanga tu tucheke ni kama nothing happened. Na mimi siwezi fanya hivyo, mimi siwezi cheka ni kama nothing happened. My face sells me out. I can't fake anything. So yeah, that's where we're at. So that's where I learned about disorganized attachment style. I hope na your example may understand kidogo. So the last one is disorganized. Disorganized is whereby it's a bit a mix of both of avoidant and stress. So these kids, when they're growing up, mostly they display a lot of anger and rage, and they avoid intimate relationships. They're just both of those things that I've said combined. They avoid issues. They don't want to talk about anything. They don't want you to abandon them. They are very scared of rejection. They're very scared of love. They're very scared when love is such a basic and intrinsic need. Everyone wants love and everyone wants to feel love. And these things are just a culmination of, experiences being researched and people talking about them. And I've remembered, it's by this guy called Ainsworth. You can check him out and you can just check out the attachment theory and read about it and see if you understand what I'm saying. So nimesema secure, anxious, avoidant na disorganized. I hope mmenipata mpaka hapo. Talking about this is because I need for us to be more patient with each other. Kumbukeni hatuku grow up kwa the same backgrounds. Kuna watu wamegrow kama mimi. When I haven't started talking about my family. I will in time, but I grew up in a very chaotic environment where I've spent most of my adult life unlearning a lot of things and relearning and learning, and it's just been a lot of work being done. Na nataka to grow pamoja. Nataka mkisikiza podcast yangu ina trigger something that makes you ask yourself questions, that makes you wonder, okay, wow, why am I like this? Is it because of this? Can I improve? Can I do this? Because most of these things need communication too. Need to kuelewana na kuunderstandiana. Na nataka to extend the same grace and the same love when we're dealing with other people. So if you feel like you're going through anything that I've talked about on here except secure, and you feel like you need to learn and do better and improve, reach out to me, man. We can do this together. You feel me? Reach out to me. I'll share my notes. I'll share what I know. I'll tell you what I know, and feel free to ask me questions so that we're able to set the ball rolling and talk about all these things. And there's just something rushed, something to just, provoke you into thinking, what is my attachment style? How am I feeling? What am I doing? How have I been dealing with other people and other relationships? etc. Because ukikuwa able kujibu hizi maswali, it gets easier for you to navigate your relationships, even with yourself. Because then you're able to confront things head on. You're able to talk about your feelings. You're able to say what you feel and what you want. It just becomes easier. So yeah, I was supposed to go make dinner. Na hiki tu nimerecord for how long? 30 minutes. I'm supposed to rush and go make dinner. I'm gonna try and edit this so that it's out by tomorrow. But I also just wanted to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Wasewa Love and Orgasms. Thank you so much for the fans. Thank you so much for the audience. It's through you guys that I've been able to learn so much about myself, because as I'm looking for content to put out, it forces me to learn so many things about myself. It forces me to go out there and be about what I'm talking about. So it's such an amazing experience for me to be able to feel this way, and I want you guys to feel the same with me. But I'm gonna end this here, and then maybe I can add more information on the next episode after this, whereby I wanted to expound more on feminine and masculine energy and just the differences and everything. But manze, wacha nikapike sembe yangu tutaongea. And please don't forget to check me out on Daybreak Citizen TV every Tuesday morning. Go read my stories on the Love and Orgasms blog, www.loveandorgasms.com, and subscribe to my OnlyFans. Manze, lazima nilipe rent. Manze, I'm supposed to update you guys on all that, the moving, the I have so many things I haven't told you guys that have happened all through from October up to now, but I just wanted to nikiwapitisha salamu, nikiwaambia feedback. Keep reaching me, keep doing the thing, and remember, I love you guys and I care so much for you, and bye.